welcome back. Today we have another Counter-Strike versus Team Fortress battle. We shall see who is the king of investments. Rules are very simple. We're just going to open Winter 2017 Cosmetic cases from TF2, and we're going to open various CS2 cases. We're going to get the total amount spent on the cases plus keys to see who gets a better return on investment. So whatever we unbox, we're going to get that ratioed value based on how much we spent and see who did a better job. That being said, we starting off with TF2 and getting a burning beanie. Nice little drop over here. As always, we start off with a Dreams and Nightmare for the CS2 end. I was just about to say I've never gotten anything decent, and we got a purple, so we start off with two purples. This time it's a battle scar for the SG, but we shall see where we go. That being said, in case you're not familiar with how it works at the TF2 end, you have the base item drops you can get, you have the strange items, or strange version of it, which is like a stat track for CS2 end, and vice versa if you're from TF2 and not familiar with CS2. And then you have the unusual effects, which are kind of reserved just to the hats. Unusual effects are exactly what it sounds like. It's just something crazy that you can have as an additional effect. It's essentially equivalent to getting a gold on the CS2 end, and even then, sometimes you can even get a strange unusual as well too. So that's like a gold within a gold, you know. That being said, it really just comes down to who can get the rarer drops in this case, because it's highly unlikely that we'd get a gold on the CS2 end or a knife or a decent red, since the October 2025 update really boosted the average cost of reds. And it's highly unusual that we would get an unusual for the TF2 end. So we're really just trying to see who can get the mid drops. But obviously, if we can get lucky enough to actually get a gold drop or an unusual, we'd be looking nice and pretty. That being said, we shall see how we do with our next Dreams and Nightmare case. We got a flashback, is it? No, Ticket to Hell, I'm sorry. Field tested. So, pretty neck to neck. We've got a couple purples on both ends. It's really going to come down to if we can get anything beyond the purple. I think on average, the CS2 skins are going to be worth more, especially after the October 25 update. We just passed by Starlight Protector. That used to be like $1.25 in factory new or something. Since the update, it's shot up well past 50 bucks. So it really did shake things up. But we'll see. And we've done this before as well too, against other TF2 cases and crates, like munitions 83 or 92, as well as like summer cases, cosmetic cases, to see who would do a better job. You can check out those videos to see who won those battles. And there was a stark difference between before the October 2025 update for CS2 and after, where some of them CS2 is just destined to lose, but because of the update increasing the average cost of skins for Counter-Strike, it actually stole a couple W's that it wasn't originally meant to win. So that's just something that's quite interesting. Almost as interesting as Wild West Whiskers. I don't know what that has to do with winter cosmetics, but I guess we'll always accept a nice mustache on our heavy, regardless. So interesting thing about Dreams and Nightmare, it's probably the cheapest case that you can open, as of right now at least, where you can get a butterfly knife. But for the most part, it's kind of static. It's been static. And it's unfortunate because I think a lot of people, including myself, have invested heavily into Dreams and Nightmare cases, being that older knives, like butterfly knives, were... Whoa. We got an unusual... Oh no, it was an unusual taunt. Dang it. I really thought we got an unusual drop for a sec. Well, we did, but we didn't. It's an unusual taunt, worth much less. Maybe roughly ballpark like 8 to 10 bucks. But dang, what a tease. But technically, it is an unusual. So we got that going for ourselves. Or I would classify as an unusual. We just passed by a couple pinks, reds, perp, and we just get a common blue, well worn too. That's a damn shame. But as I was saying, yeah, you know, for the CS2 end, butterfly knives used to be pretty much unattainable, and that's why Dreams and Nightmares was such a popular investment for many people. But with that update where you can just trade up 5 reds for a gold, it kind of diluted the investment possibility of Dreams and Nightmare, but it's still, I think in the long run, I think it's still going to be an investment that goes up. It's just going to take even longer now. Gotta say, some of these winter cosmetics have nothing to do with winter. I was doing this because this is like, I'm going to publish this in the winter of 2025, so I figured, hey, yeah, you're going to have a nice winter theme, but like half the drops from TF2 are not. Okay, finally. We got a polar bear. This looks appropriate for the winter. Appropriate for the season. We got a little bit indubitably green to match the Christmas or holiday spirit along with it, so that's great. Let's see what we get from the Prisma case, an off-world field tested. A really plain P90 skin. You know, sometimes some skins may not have the value in terms of rarity, but it can look really awesome. Off-world is not one of those. It just kind of looks like trash regardless. I don't think anyone's repping the off-world P90 unless that's all they have. But regardless, we should open another Prisma case. We dodged the double off-worlds to just get a Aquaban. So we're coming towards the end. We're about like a little over halfway. We got a Manco Orange. So that's the other thing if you're coming from the CS2 end. Ooh, we got a Cold Front Commander. Makes me think of like Cobra from G.I. Joe's. But as I was saying, if you're coming from the CS2 end, you might... Oh, we got a stat track here. Uncharted, pretty nice, field tested. Too bad it's a kind of a... Uncharted's kind of an underrated skin. But, you know, it's just common blue, so it's not going to be worth much. But stat track helps. It always helps. Down, Tundra Coat, very nice winter theme. We shall open a fever case. Hopefully you're not sick when you're watching this. But it at least matches the winter theme. Field tested Choppa. I think it's actually kind of a shame at the TF2 end that some of these older cases, like this is almost 10 years old now, and it just doesn't really increase in value too much, which is really unfortunate because if you like CS2, the cases themselves, as they become more and more limited, yeah, it goes, if something that was like 7 years old or almost 10 years old, yeah, it would go up quite a bit. I mean, look at this, we just got a Nova Rising Sun. What a beautiful Nova. Dang. A fever case too. But we shall see how this battle pans out. I think the CS2 end has actually got a slight lead here, to be honest. That factory new Nova Rising Sun definitely helps pull us ahead a little bit. That unusual taunt might be the difference maker for Team Fortress unless we get an actual unusual drop here or just a high rarity drop here. But the fever case seems to be pretty clutch. This is another case that I've kind of invested into as far as CS2 investing. I do feel like the introduction of the 5 reds for a gold update kind of hurt the potential, but we'll see. Anyways, recap time. Okay, recap time. We'll start off with CS2, where the best drop was a Nova Rising Sun, coming in at $6.13 due to the fact that it's factory new. The second best drop is a stat track AK-47 Uncharted, coming in at $3.14 field tested. The total return of the CS2 end was $13.45. Due to the cost of the cases and the keys, total is $72.27 for the cost of keys and cases. The percentage, the return on investment that we got was 18.6%. Now, if you were to exclude the cost of the cases because, say, you got it for free from gameplay, then it goes up to 26.7% return on investment. Now let's move on to TF2. The best drop, as expected, was the unusual taunt neck snap, unusual luckier, coming in at $11.69. The second best drop was Cold Front Commander, coming in at $1.12. The total return on the TF2 end was $21.26. The cost of the cases are all 21 cents. The cost of the keys is $2.65, same as CS2, meaning the total cost of cases and keys for TF2, the Winter Cosmetics, was $57.02. Meaning we have a percentage return of 37.1%. So even if you were to exclude the cost of cases for CS2, there's a resounding 10+% victory from TF2. So Team Fortress takes the cake and takes a W here. That being said, if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you want to see next. And did you expect Team Fortress to pull out the W, or was it exactly as you expected? Make sure to check out my other videos. I do more CS2 vs TF2 as well as CS2 vs other things such as Dota 2 or other hobbies like Pokemon. And yeah, thanks for watching. Take care till next time. Thanks.